The Hubble Space Telescope is probably the most significant scientific instrument ever created by humans. It's taken over 1.4 million images for tens of thousands of scientists around the world. But the other thing Hubble has done is show us for the very first time really how beautiful and amazing the universe is.
I went to work for NASA and I was hired as a flight controller. So those are the people that work in the control center. And so one of the early missions I did was STS-31, which was where we launched and deployed the Hubble Space Telescope, which was absolutely fantastic. I was on the team that helped develop all those procedures on how they were going to take the arm on the space shuttle and grab the Hubble Space Telescope and move it into position and then let it go into space. And that was just so incredibly special.
The Hubble Space Telescope was launched in 1990. It was designed to be fixed by people in spacesuits wearing big bulky gloves. But at the time, we hadn't built a space station. We hadn't done a lot of work in space.
The Hubble mission was very complicated and there were lots and lots of things that had to go right. But we had some of the best trainers in the whole world, the best engineering team to design the mission and help us prepare for the mission. Every single thing had to go right, but we also knew that when things went wrong, we had a great team of people on the ground that had our backs that would help us work through it.
The whole entire crew played a critical role in designing our own tools with the help of the engineers that allowed us to be successful on the flight.
I was a mechanism designer at Goddard Space Flight Center designing mechanisms for satellites, and I got involved in the Hubble Space Telescope repair mission. The mechanisms on that mission were power tools and torque limiters and wrenches, and I designed them with my team as if they were spaceflight mechanisms. Really tried to design the best tools that we can that were going to last forever. They're still up there now, going on every spacewalk of Space Station.
We had several tasks that we had to do, scientific instruments that had failed, but we couldn't bring up new cameras to replace them. So we had to learn how to fix them in space. And this involved taking out very tiny screws and pulling out circuit cards. And just learning the new techniques and building new tools to do that was hard on the ground. And then when we were in space, we had to do the same task for real to fix these cameras.
There's the EVAs. I was going out. It was my first spaceflight mission and it was my first spacewalks. So there was a lot to learn. Probably the most fun I've ever had was just training for the mission. To actually get to go fly it was just icing on the cake.
The repairs we made to the Hubble Space Telescope were a bit daunting. We had only a short period of time to get the work done, and we did 5 spacewalks back to back, day after day, and that was tough work.
So on my last spacewalk, I made a very bad mistake that almost messed up the whole mission really on the telescope, and they came up with a solution. But I remember I was really upset about this, and I had to try to stay in the game and couldn't get too upset because we still had to work through this spacewalk.
But fortunately, we trained for 3.5 years for the mission, so we were ready to go and ready for that task.
And that's the ultimate example of just being part of it, a very tight-knit team. Every big accomplishment is done by a team.
There's always a question after we have visited the telescope whether we were actually successful or not. And so usually when we come back to Earth, it's a few weeks before that first image comes out. And 2 things. One, I'm always really thankful that the cameras work and that we get to see some spectacular celestial object. But also, the whole point of going to the Hubble and putting in new instruments is to improve its capability. So when we put a new instrument in and the pictures come back, they're sharper and have more detail than anything ever seen before. And that's just really fascinating to see.
I think all of us take great pride in knowing that the work that we did is continuing to pay off.
Let us know what you thought of this video down in the comments section. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like and a share. And follow STEM in 30 on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe to the National Air and Space Museum's YouTube channel.